husband and wife come from. I know where all the knowledge come from. And I know the territory not no church, not no priest, no Jesse. No, not no church, not no priest, no Jesse. So I look at the world, and I found them all to be the truth. Oh, I love another man. Your servant will be dead. I'll find them with your light. You allow me to shine bright. So if you help me out today, let me hear you say I'm great. All in the island living friend. Listen when your heart and spirit. The moment will I hold you for the time. The time is now. I'll restore my pride and look forward to rising sun. You're the only one whose name alone is represented. Take hold of me with my blessing. Only duty and merit serve you. What's that I deserve you? It hurts when I hear another man. So your mouth out, I will proclaim. Not no judge, not no priest, no Jesse. Come on down. Not no judge, not no priest, no Jesse. Yeah. Not no judge, not no priest, no Jesse. I know where my next meal comes from. I know where the city come from. I know where all the truth comes from. And where the little bitty you come from. I know where all the light comes from. Where the husband and wife come from. I know where all the knowledge comes from. And I know, yes I know it's no one reigns above you, and no one reigns beside you.
Oh, okay. You just had the plan. No, okay, I guess. So good. Shalom, shalom, brothers and sisters all over the world. I'm Yahudah ben Israel, and I come today to teach. First, I want to say I want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh by saying Hallelujah, praise the mighty Yah. That's it, and that's all. And today's topic is I'm gonna prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that the Hebrew Israelites all over the world in the Bible, they are black or reddish, red color. You know, they black. They are not white. So a lot of people believe and think that the Israelites that's over in the land, they are white, pale skinned, which is a lie. And I'm gonna prove beyond a shadow of a doubt today that we are the people and that we were black and we are black. We was and is black today still. Okay, now I want to start off in the book of 1 Samuel. This 1 Samuel 16th chapter. And I'm going to start at the first verse.
1 Samuel chapter 16, verse 1. And Yahweh said unto Samuel, How long wilt thou mourn for Saul, seeing I have rejected him from reigning over Israel?
The Almighty rejected Saul from reigning over Israel because Saul was hard-headed, just like the people today. They don't want to listen. They want to do what they want to do. Read.
Fill thine horn with oil, and go. I will send thee to Jesse the Bethlehemite, for I have provided me a king among his sons.
Now the Almighty looking for a king, a special kind of guy among Jesse's sons. Read.
And Samuel said, How can I go? If Saul hear it, he will kill me. And Yahweh said, Take an heifer with thee, and say, I am come to sacrifice to Yahweh. And call Jesse to the sacrifice, and I will show thee what thou shalt do. And thou shalt anoint unto me him whom I name unto thee.
See, the Almighty, when he looking for a special man, he said anoint. There was nobody in the New Testament was anointed. JC was never anointed, so he never had nothing to do with the New Testament or JC, period. Read.
And Samuel did that which Yahweh spake, and came to Bethlehem. And the elders of the town trembled at his coming, and said, Comest thou peaceably? And he said, Peaceably. I am come to sacrifice unto Yahweh. Sanctify yourselves, and come with me to the sacrifice. And he sanctified Jesse and his sons, and called them to the sacrifice. And it came to pass, when they were come, that he looked on Eliab, and said, Surely Yahweh's anointed is before him. But Yahweh said unto Samuel, Look not on his countenance, or on the height of his stature, because I have refused him. For Yahweh seeth not as man seeth.
The Almighty don't see like us.
For man looketh on the outward
We
appearance,
looking on the outside of a person, a man, or whatever. Read.
but Yahweh looketh on the heart.
And the Almighty is the only one that know your heart. Nobody else. Your mom and daddy don't even know your heart, but Yahweh know it because he made it. Read.
Then Jesse called Abinadab, and made him pass before Samuel. And he said, Neither hath Yahweh chosen this. Then Jesse made
Pause. Pause. Pause.
Then, verse 9, Then Jesse made Shammah to pass by, and he said, Neither hath Yahweh chosen this. Again, Jesse made 7 of his sons to pass before Samuel. And Samuel said unto Jesse, Yahweh hath not chosen thee.
See, Yahweh is very picky, and he choosing. He looking for a man, and that when they tell me that the Almighty love everybody, and that's a lie. He loves certain ones and certain people, and he's looking for this certain man at this time. Read.
And Samuel said unto Jesse, Here all thy children. And he said, There remaineth yet the youngest, and behold, he keepeth the sheep. And Samuel said unto Jesse, Send and fetch him, for we will not sit down till he come hither.
Well, we ain't gonna sit down until you go get this young man.
And he sent and brought him in. Now he was ruddy, and withal of a beautiful countenance, and goodly to look to. And Yahweh said, Arise, anoint him, for this is he.
This he. Okay, now let's look up the word ruddy. Let's look up that word ruddy. Let me see. Yeah. Let's see what the color ruddy is. Right.
A healthy reddish color. In 2 places in the Bible, the word refers to the rosy complexion of vigorous health.
Okay. It's a reddish color, it says. Reddish color. That's what the word ruddy mean. Okay. Go on and read.
Then Samuel took the horn of oil and anointed him in the midst of his brethren. And the Spirit of Yahweh came upon David from that day forward.
Okay, now find in the New Testament where the Almighty sent a prophet to anoint anybody. And then if you do, I'm going to give you $500 if you can show me where the Almighty Yahweh sent any prophet at any time to anoint anybody at any time in the New Testament. Read.
So Samuel rose up and went to Ramah, but the Spirit of Yahweh departed from Saul, and an evil spirit from Yahweh troubled him. And Saul's servant said unto him, Behold, now An evil spirit from Elohim troubleth thee.
Okay, we can start right there. So I just wanted to prove to you that King David was a red man, a red man. He was a ruddy color. Okay, now let's go to Exodus. Still talking about the Israelites or black, and they were not white. Period. Exodus chapter 4. Now I'm finna go to Moses. We left David. I proved to you he was not a white man. He was ruddy, red. Now let's go see what color Moses was. So Exodus 4, yeah, start at the first verse.
Exodus chapter 4, verse 1. And Moses answered and said, But, behold, they will not believe me, nor hearken unto my voice. For they will say, Yahweh hath not appeared unto thee.
The same thing they saying today about me, about Brother Elkanah, about Brother Ray Lev, Eric Harley, Jerry Houston, and all the other brothers is all over the world. This teaching about Yah, they saying the same thing. There ain't nothing changed today. They still don't believe and have no faith. Read.
And Yahweh said unto him, What is that in thy hand?
He told Moses, "What is that in your hand?"
And he said, A rod.
They said, "Rod."
And he said, Cast it on the ground. And he cast it on the ground, and it became a serpent.
Now, once he cast that rod on the ground, it became a serpent. This is a rod here. This is what he talking about. Something like that. Read.
And Moses fled from before it. And Yahweh said unto Moses, Put forth thy hand, and take it by the tail. And he put forth his hand, and caught it, and it became a rod in his hand.
It went from a serpent to a rod, from back to a serpent, back to a rod. Right. Read.
That they may believe that Yahweh Elohim of their fathers, the Elohim of Abraham, the Elohim of Isaac, and Elohim of Jacob, hath appeared unto thee.
That's right. They gonna believe after they see this. Read.
And Yahweh said furthermore unto him, Put now thy hand into thy bosom. And he put his hand into his bosom.
Hold on. He stuck his hand in his bosom. Read.
And when he took it out, behold, his hand was leprous as snow.
It was white as snow. So when he took it out, it was white. So it had to be black. Read.
And he said, Put thy hand into thy bosom again.
Now do it a second time. Put it in again. Read.
And he put his hand into his bosom again, and plucked it out of his bosom.
And then when he plucked it out of his bosom,
and behold, it was turned again as his other flesh.
it went back to black. Because the opposite of white is black. Black is white. So when Moses put his hand in his bosom, the black arm, then when he brought it out, it was all white. So that was amazing to people. So when he stuck it back in and he stuck it back out, it became black again, just like his hand was black again. Read.
And it came to pass, and it shall come to pass, if they will not believe thee, neither hearken to the voice of the first sign, that they will believe the voice of the latter sign.
He said, the Almighty said, boy, if they don't believe that stick turned into a serpent, I know they gonna believe for sure when you stick your hand, when you stick that jet black hand in your bosom, which is your chest, and then you bring it out and it's all white. It's white as snow, and then when you stick it back in, it becomes black again. Boy, that's a miracle. I know they gonna believe that. That's right. They gonna believe that. Read.
And,
Book popping it.
and it shall come to pass, if they will not believe all these two signs, neither hearken unto thy voice, that thou shalt take of the water of the river, and pour it upon the dry land, and the water which thou takest out of the river shall become blood upon the dry land. And Moses said unto Yahweh, O my Yahweh, I am not eloquent.
That means I can't speak. My tongue is tied. I stutter when I speak. That's when he letting the Most High know. Read.
neither heretofore, nor since thou hast spoken unto thy servant, but I am slow of speech and of a slow tongue.
And in the other word, he stuttered when he talked. Moses did. He stuttered. He had difficulty talking with his words. Read.
And Yahweh said unto him, Who hath made man's mouth?
The Almighty said, I made your mouth, man. I knew you couldn't speak when you was a baby. Read.
Or who maketh the dumb,
I'm the one that make the retarded, the dumb, and the blind. Read.
or deaf,
Deaf.
or the seeing, or the blind? Have not I Yahweh?
Yahweh do it all. So when you have a child that come in this world with something wrong with it, Yahweh did it. He just said he did it.
Now therefore go, and I will be with thy mouth,
He
and
gonna be with your mouth. Read.
teach thee what thou shalt say.
Now I'm gonna teach you what to say.
And he said, O my Yahweh, send, I pray thee, by the hand of him whom thou wilt send. And the anger of Yahweh was kindled against Moses, and he said, Is not Aaron the Levite thy brother?
Now that's his brother Aaron. Read.
I know that he can speak well.
He can pop that corn. Boy, he said, I know Aaron can do it. Read.
And behold, and also, behold, he cometh forth to meet
He
thee,
coming to meet you, man.
and when he seeth thee, he will be glad in his heart.
Boy, gonna be glad in his heart.
And thou shalt speak unto him, and put words in his mouth, and I will be with thy mouth, and with his mouth, and will teach you what ye shall do.
That's right.
And he shall be thy spokesman.
Boy, he gonna be your spokesman. Gonna be the Philadelphia lawyer, because that's what lawyers started in Philadelphia. That's when I call them the Philadelphia lawyers. Boy, you can pop that corn. Read.
Unto the people,
And to the people.
and he shall be, even he shall be to thee instead of a mouth, and thou shalt be to him instead of Elohim.
Okay, read. Let's stop right there. Okay, now I wanted to prove that Moses was a black man. That's what I just did. And Moses was a Hebrew Israelite, just like King David was a Hebrew Israelite. Okay, now let's go to Numbers. Still talking about the children of Israel are the black people of the world. Not the Gentile, not the white folks that's over there in the land today that's claiming our land, that's saying that they the real people. That's a lie. The real people is still in bondage and captivity, still in slavery. What I said, Numbers chapter 12. Yeah, we're gonna start the first verse. Now, I'm gonna prove to you that Miriam, which is Moses' sister, was a black woman.
Numbers chapter 12, verse 1. And Miriam and Aaron spake against Moses
Now, Miriam was Moses' sister, and Aaron was his brother, which you already know.
because of the Ethiopian woman whom he had married.
Now, Miriam and Moses got upset at Moses because he married an Ethiopian woman. And we all know that Ethiopians are black people. Read.
For he had married an Ethiopian woman, and they said, Hath Yahweh indeed spoken only by Moses?
Now, they didn't got jealous, man. You ain't the only prophet. You know, they talking slick. Read.
Hath he not spoken also by us?
We prophets and prophetess too. We you know, no, it don't go like that. The Almighty handpick his people. Read.
And Yahweh heard it.
And when the Almighty Yahweh heard that they was bashing Moses and getting down on him, saying this all negative stuff, talking about, like how people do us today, bashing us. Oh, them niggas don't know what they talking about. Oh, JC is the Messiah, and woo up the bam, all that blasphemy. But Almighty got something for you. Just keep on playing games and bashing his people, his chosen ones. Read.
Now the man Moses was very meek above all the men which were upon the face of the earth.
That's right.
And Yahweh spake suddenly unto Moses, and unto Aaron, and unto
He
Miriam,
talked to all three of them. Now you can't see him suddenly talking to Peter, Paul, John, Luke, or JC in the New Testament because he don't speak in there. But he's speaking. He popping corn in the Old Testament. Read.
Come out ye three unto the tabernacle of the congregation. And they three came out. And Yahweh came down in the pillar of the cloud, and stood in the door of the tabernacle, and called Aaron and Miriam, and they both came forth.
Okay, when did he come down in the pillar of a cloud in the New Testament to talk to John, Peter, J.C., Paul, and any of them clowns? Never. Read.
And he said, Hear now my words. If there be a prophet among you, I, Yahweh, will make myself known unto him in a vision, and will speak unto him in a dream. My servant Moses is not so,
This is a special man. This is a different man. This is my right hand man. I ain't going to do the same thing I do with the other ones I do to him. Read.
who is faithful in all mine
He's
house.
faithful in all my house. Read.
With him will I speak mouth to mouth, even apparently, and not in dark speeches. And the similitude of Yahweh shall he behold. Wherefore then were ye not afraid to speak against my servant Moses?
See, it's certain people on this earth that you got to be afraid to speak against because the Almighty dealing with these people, these chosen people. You can't just blaspheme and cuss these men out. And yeah, you can, but you're going to pay for it. The Almighty got something for you. Read.
And the anger of Yahweh was kindled against them,
And see, when you speak and talk crazy to the Almighty hand-picked chosen people, he get mad at you, whether you know it or not. Read.
and he departed.
And when he departed,
And the cloud departed from off the tabernacle. And behold, Miriam became leprous, white as snow. And Aaron looked upon Miriam, and behold, she was leprous.
okay, see, the Almighty, she was a black woman, and the Almighty turned her white, leprous as snow. So she had to be black.
And Aaron said unto Moses, Alas, my master, I beseech thee, lay not the sin upon us, wherein we have done foolishly, and wherein we have sinned.
They have sinned by speaking against Moses. And when the Almighty turned a person white, that's a sin. That's what this is saying. Read.
Let her not be as one dead, of whom the flesh is half consumed,
Half consumed.
when he cometh out of his mother's
When
womb.
you come out the mother's womb, because you have done when you come out white. In other words, that's what they're saying. You well done when you come out brown and black. Read.
And Moses cried unto Yahweh, saying, Heal her now, O Elohim, I beseech thee.
Beseech mean beg. He begging the Most High to heal his sister. Turn her back black. Please, Yah. Please, Yah. Turn her back black. Turn her back black. Read.
And Yahweh said unto Moses, If her father had but spit in her face, should she not be ashamed 7 days?
That's right.
Let her be shut out from the camp 7 days, and after that let her be received in again.
Okay, after them 7 days, she gonna become black again. Then she can come back in the camp. Read.
And Miriam was shut out from the camp 7 days,
She couldn't come in the camp for 7 days for running that mouth. Like these women do. Run your mouth.
and the people journeyed not till Miriam was brought in again.
Okay, so I just wanted to prove that the man's sister was black. Okay, let's go to Job and see what Job say. Job 30 and 30. Let's see what color Job was. Job 30 and 30.
Job chapter 30, verse 30. My skin is black upon me,
What? Job say, boy, my skin black up on me. Pop it. Read.
and my bones are burned with
And
heat.
my bones are burned with heat. Okay, let's go to Songs of Solomon. Let's go to Songs of Solomon. Let's see what that's saying. Job said, I'm black. Songs of Solomon. I think I want one. Yeah. One. Started the first verse. 1 and 1.
The Song of Solomon, chapter 1, verse 1. The Song of Songs, which is Solomon's. Let him kiss me with the kisses of his mouth, for thy love is better than wine. Because of the Savior of thy good ointments, thy name is as ointment poured forth. Therefore do the virgins love thee.
Verse 11. Read.
Draw me, we will run after thee. The king hath brought me into his
And
chambers.
who is the king? Solomon, the king, right? Read.
We will be glad and rejoice in thee. We will remember thy love more than wine. The upright love thee. I am black, but comely.
Solomon said, I'm black but comely. Comely mean beautiful.
O ye daughters of Jerusalem,
O ye daughters of Jerusalem.
as the tents of Kedar, as the curtains of Solomon. Look not upon me,
Don't look now upon me
because I am black,
because I'm black. King Solomon said, because I'm black. Read.
because the sun have looked upon me.
And the sun gonna make you black, baby. Sun do it. Read.
My mother's children were angry with me.
That's right, because he was the blackest probably of all of them.
They made me the keeper of the vineyards.
Boy, I mean, he was the black sheep.
But my own vineyard have I not kept.
Okay, but I just want to prove a point. Okay, let's go to Jeremiah. Still talking about the children of Israel black. Jeremiah 8. Let's see what yeah, Jeremiah chapter 8, verse 20, 19, 8 and 19.
Jeremiah chapter 8, verse 19. Behold, the voice of the cry of the daughter of my people, because of them that dwell in a far country.
And we dwell in a far country right now.
Is not Yahweh in Zion?
Yes, sir. Yes, he is.
Is not her king in her? Why have they provoked me to anger with their graven images and with strange vanities?
Same thing we doing today, provoking y'all by going to church, wearing crosses, and calling up on that monkey in the New Testament, which is JC. Read.
The harvest is past, the summer is ended, and we are not saved.
That's right. We still ain't saved. We still in captivity and bondage and slaves. Read.
For the hurt of the daughter of my people am I hurt. I am black.
Jeremiah said, I'm black.
Astonishment have taken hold on me.
That's right.
Is there no balm in Gilead?
Balm is no medicine. Balm is talking about medicine.
Is there no physician here?
Ain't no doctors.
Why then is not the health of the daughter of my people recovered?
That's right, because we sin against Yah. He ain't sending no medicine, no doctor to cure us, because, boy, only thing gonna kill disease is the law, the statutes, the precept, the judgment, commandment. That's our medicine, but we won't take that. We'd rather go to the dollar store and Walmart, get that medicine and drink it. But, boy, you don't want to do no law. And that's the medicine right there, the law. Okay, now Jeremiah just said he was black. Popping corn. Jeremiah 14. I ain't gonna tell it to you. I'm gonna show it to you. I let the book do the talking. Book represent me. That's really they mad at me, but I ain't studying. I'm gonna keep on popping corn to the graveyard. You understand me? Jeremiah 14:1.
Jeremiah chapter 14, verse 1. The word of Yahweh that came to Jeremiah concerning the dearth.
The dearth.
Judah mourneth,
Judah mourning,
and the gates thereof
and the
languish.
gates thereof language.
They are black unto the ground.
Judah is black unto the ground. The 12 tribes of Israel, Judah is black unto the ground. Read.
And the cry of Jerusalem is gone up.
Okay, that's why I want to get to that black all the time. Okay, that's Jeremiah. That's 13. Let's go to Jeremiah 13 and 23. Let's see, 13. I think it's what is it? 13, 23. Yeah.
Jeremiah chapter 13, verse 23. Can the Ethiopian change his skin?
What color is the Ethiopian? He black. It's asking the question, can he change his skin? No. He jet black. Read.
Or the leper his spots?
Have you ever seen a leopard change the spots? All leopards got spots. And have you ever seen them change? Nope. You know you ain't. Read.
Then may ye also do good that are accustomed to do evil.
Now, if they can do that, then this is evil. If an Ethiopian can change his color, that's evil. And if a leopard can change his spot, that's evil. But boy, I ain't seen it did yet. And if you seen it, let me know. Okay. Now that proves right there that what once was black, always black. He don't change. Ain't nothing. Okay, Lamentation. Lamentation 4. Let's see. Yeah, 4. I think it's Lamentations chapter 4, verse 6.
Lamentations chapter 4, verse 6. For the punishment of the iniquity of the daughter of my people is greater than the punishment of the sin of Sodom,
That's right.
that was overthrown as in a moment, and no hand stayed on her. Her Nazarites were purer than snow.
Right. A Nazarite is a special kind of guy that he make a vow to you. A Nazarite made a vow to Yah that he would not drink on wine, he would not eat no raisins, and there's a few more laws and statutes that he'll do. A Nazarite, you're gonna never shave your hair, you never shave your beard, and etc. But that's another subject. But I ain't gonna talk about the Nazarite. But we're gonna get to black though, because of that. Okay, let's finish that.
They were whiter than milk.
They were cleaner, meaning that okay, they're the pure. No, you forgot to read that 7 again. You forgot something.
Her Nazarites were purer than snow.
They were purer than snow, meaning it was clean. Read.
They were whiter than milk.
Clean.
They were more ruddy in body than rubies.
Ruddy. They was more red in body. Red. Read.
Their polishing was of sapphire.
That's right.
Their visage is blacker than a coal.
Okay, vicious. Vicious. Let's look up the word vicious. Let me show you what that word vicious means. A lot of people out there probably ain't never heard this word in the Bible. So I want you to understand what vicious means. I ain't going to tell it to you. I'm going to show it to you. I'm popping corn today.
Visage, the face or facial expression of a person.
The face. Face, baby. That's what the word face. Vicious means face. Now read it again, boy, because I want the world to know that I ain't lying to them. I'm telling the whole truth and nothing but the truth. And it's all about Yah.
Their visage is blacker than a coal.
Blacker than a coal. You already know what color coal is. If you don't know what color coal is, then you're a fool. Them coal that they used to put in them wood stoves back in the day. That's what you seen one before. All the old folks know what I'm talking about. These young people don't know what I'm talking about. But you go coal is one of them round coal that they used to put in them hot stove, them pot belly stoves back in the day to keep the house warm. His face blacker than that.
They are not known in the streets. Their skin cleaveth to their bones.
Okay, I think that's all I wanted. Let me see. We have Jeremiah 4. Let me see. No, Lamentation 4. You read to the 8th verse?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, that's all I want. Okay, now let's go to Lamentation 5 and 10. 5 and 10. Let's see. Yeah.
Lamentations chapter 5 verse 10. Our skin was black like an oven.
The skin was black like an oven.
Because of the terrible famine.
That's right. Black like an oven because of the terrible famine. Boy, look, the book popping it. I'm letting the world know, boy, all the people in the book, Bible was black. The Old Testament, they were black folks. They were black. Okay, let's go to Daniel. Now, let's see what color Yah was. Because it's only in here one time. Let's go to the book of Daniel. I think it's Daniel. I done showed you where all the prophets and the kings were. They was all black or red. They were never white. Ain't nothing white. And if it was white, the Almighty turned you white and cursed you and turned you white because you played the game. What I say, Daniel 7? Okay, let's go to start the 9th verse. Corn right here.
Daniel chapter 7 verse 9. I beheld till the thrones were cast down, and the Ancient of Days did sit.
Now, who is the Ancient of Days? That's Yahweh, because he is the Ancient of Days. Boy, ain't nothing older than Yah. He's the Ancient of Days. Popping corn, read.
Whose garment was white as snow.
Says garment was white as snow, meaning it was clean. Boy, what clean? Read.
And the hair of his head like the pure wool.
Hold on. That's wool right there, boy, because that'll cut you. That's real tough. Hey, when you go get a sheep, you see what the hair is wool. It ain't straight like no dog or no cat. No wool. You got to read that again, boy, because that's corn right there.
And the hair of his head like the pure wool.
Like pure wool. Compare Yahweh had like pure wool.
His throne was like the fiery flame.
That's right.
And his wheels as burning fire.
And burning fire. Read.
A fiery stream issued and came forth from before him.
That's right.
Thousands ministered unto him,
Thousands men to Yah.
and 10,000 times 10,000 stood before
And
him.
they stood before him.
The judgment was set,
The judgment was set up.
and the books were
The
opened.
books were open, boy. When the books open, that means he judging. That's right, he judging when the books are open. Okay, let's go to now I just gave you a description of Yah. Now I'm gonna give you a description of the angel. Let's go to Daniel 10. Daniel chapter 10. 5. I think it's Daniel chapter 10, verse 5.
Daniel chapter 10, verse 5. Then I lifted up mine eyes and looked, and behold, a certain man clothed in linen,
Now this man was an angel. This was an angel, right? Read.
whose loins were girded with fine gold of Upas.
The fine gold. You already know what color gold is. Read.
His body also was like the beryl,
Like the beryl.
and his face as the appearance of lightning,
It means real bright.
and his eyes as lamps of fire,
Like amps of fire.
and his arms and his feet like in color to polished brass.
Like polished brass. That's what color this angel was. Like polished brass.
And the voice of his words like the voice of a multitude.
Deep. And bass in his voice. I turn the bass down. The bass in his voice. Deep voice. Okay, let's go to Ezekiel 40. I'm going to go back in there. Ezekiel chapter 40. 40 and 2. Yeah, start the second. Third one.
Ezekiel chapter 40, verse 2. And the visions of Elohim brought he me into the land of Israel, and set me upon a very high mountain, by which was the frame of a city on the south. And he brought me thither, and behold, there was a man whose appearance was like the appearance of brass,
A man, this is an angel now, like the appearance of brass.
with a line of flax in his hand,
This was an angel though.
and a measuring reed, and he stood in the gates.
Okay, appearance of brass. In other words, not white, brass, ruddy, black, no white at all. So when they tell you that those people over in the land is the true Israelites, is the true Hebrew people, they lying. Because all of them got pale skin and white. So they ain't the chosen people. We are the ones. Now, I don't mean no disrespect to white folk, but I'm just letting you know the books say they were black. So stop teaching these lies in these churches and on these corners about the children of Israel being white. That's a lie. I just proved that your Moses was black. David was ruddy. All of Judah was black. The angels were black or brass. Yeah, that's all that's what I did. So let me see if anything else I want to talk about. Let me see. Yeah, I think that'll get it though. I just wanted to prove beyond the shadow of doubt that the Israelites are a black nation and not a white nation. Not saying, and no meaning no disrespect to white folk, but the truth has to be told. And boy, I'm here to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth and pop this corn. You know, the Almighty, He show favor and He will have a blessing on a person, regardless of whatever color he is. All He wants you to do is be 100 with Him and keep His laws, His statutes, His precepts, His judgment, commandment. Whether you be a Chinese, a Mexican, or Puerto Rican, or a white man, it don't really come down to. It really comes down to who obeying Yah. That's what it's basically about. Who obey Yah, regardless of what color you is. Yeah, the Israelites are the chosen people, but listen, I'm gonna say that if a Hebrew Israelite, which is a black man, don't keep none of his laws, don't keep none of his statutes, don't keep none of his commandments, now here come a white man with blue eyes to keep all his laws, all his statutes, all his judgment. Guess what? The Almighty gonna put him in the kingdom before He do the black man, because all He wants you to do is obey, and it's all about obeying Yah. So don't get offended out there, white folks, about what I'm saying. If you do the right thing, Yah will deliver you and save you before the black man. That's all I'm saying. The book talking. I ain't make this up. The Almighty wants you to obey him. Don't care what color he is. So now I'm going to go on close out and give all honor and glory to Yahweh by saying hallelujah, hallelujah. Praise the mighty Yah. Shalom.